Hey everybody, I hope you're all doing wonderful today. I'm Jacob, and in this video, I'm going to share you all the dividend income that I've got in the previous month. The overall goal is to give you complete transparency into what it's like to actually have an investment portfolio, the type of returns you can expect, and just the overall ups and downs. Investing is very rewarding in the long term, but it's not always as glamorous as people on the internet portray it to be. In most cases, you're not going to hit it big overnight. But if you have the right mindset and a long-term plan, that's when you can start to see some real nice returns. So with that said, let's hop into the portfolio here. So overall, the value is $36,481. Since the beginning of this portfolio, the dividends earned has been right around $2,900 and a market gain of about $8,800. So this is going to be dividends plus the capital gains. And when you put that into a money-weighted rate of return, we're looking at about 68%. And here in M1 Finance, you are able to break up your individual holdings and put them into these things called slices. So it's essentially just a way to group your individual holdings. So for me, I like to bucket my ETFs, my tech-based stocks, finance, consumer, real estate, and overall these have performed fairly well with the exception of telecom. And so that's from the past 4 years or so. But I want to look at the last month. So in the last month or so, we had a slight gain from where we started out. So we started at roughly 35,700. The market went up really good in early to mid-May. And then it sort of crashed down towards the tail half. And then here in early June, it picked back up again. So when we put that into numbers, we had a market gain of about $600 or a money-weighted return of just shy of 2%. And just quickly looking at some of the slices here in this portfolio, the thing that probably sticks out the most is technology. So if I click into that slice, I can see that companies like Apple, Broadcom, and Texas Instruments, they all had very nice gains the past 30 days. And then a slice like industrials didn't perform very well. So you had a company like GPC or Waste Management down between 4 and 5%. But at the end of the month, the good performers outweighed the bad performers. So we ended up with an overall gain. Now let's check out the dividends and see what we actually got paid out from these companies. All right, so starting off, we got $4.81 from AT&T. Now for me, this has been a pretty strong hold right now. I'm not buying any more of it. AT&T has been through their struggles. They've had a couple dividend cuts, and overall, the business just seems to not have any major growth potential. But nonetheless, they did pay out $4.81. Next, we move into probably one of my more favorite companies, and that is Costco. They paid out $1.47. It just seems that no matter the state of the economy, whether it's doing good or doing bad, people always find a need to go to Costco. Fairly good deals for the most part, and maybe the best thing is that $1.50 glizzy. But this is really a company that has a lower dividend yield, and you've seen more growth throughout its history. So historically, you're not going to get much from the dividends, and most of your gains are going to be from the capital gain appreciation of the stock price itself. After that, we got $25.71 from Enterprise Product Partners. Then we go into a bank. This is Ally Financial. They paid out 63 cents. Then a relatively non-interesting company. This is Colgate. They just make a ton of different household products, and they paid out $2.38. Then we move into Stag Industrial, which is a real estate investment trust. So they own industrial-based properties and their tenants pay them rent. And this is actually a monthly paying stock. So they paid out $2.67 this month. Next is Procter & Gamble. They paid $4.55. Then pharmaceutical company AbbVie. They paid out $6.43. Next, we have another REIT. This is National Retail Properties. They own a lot of commercial-based properties. Companies like Walgreens, 7-Eleven. National Retail Properties owns those buildings, and those tenants pay them rent. And this REIT actually pays out quarterly. So this quarter, they paid out $10.39. Then we move into a very similar company to that. This is Realty Income Corp, another monthly paying REIT, but this month they paid out $6.12. Then we move to Apple. probably my favorite company in the whole world. You might hate me after saying that, but really because I love Steve Jobs and the vision that he had, and the products always seem to work for me way better than the competitors. That's just based on my experience. But this month, Apple paid out $3.11. One thing I'm going to keep my eye on is the Worldwide Developer Conference. So this is where Apple is expected to announce their strategy in regards to AI. I believe they're looking to integrate AI into Siri to make her a little better. So that should be interesting to see what comes out of that. Then we move into Caterpillar. They paid out 97 cents. Texas Instruments, $4.26. Fastenal, industrial type company, they paid out $3.42. And to round everything out for the month, our final payment comes from SPHD with $6.86. So when we add everything up for the month, total dividend payments comes to $83.78. So compared to this time last year, we were at $79. So roughly a $4 increase there, and compared to this time last quarter, it's roughly the same at $83. I haven't been investing too much into this portfolio. Sometimes you just have other things in life that you got to pay for, so that's kind of where I'm at right now. But one thing I did want to show you is I do like to show how much the portfolio would generate in terms of a yearly wage and then break it down by month, day, and hourly. So it just takes the most recent 3 months and breaks it down. So currently our yearly wage would be $963, and every single day it would actually add up to $2.64. And if we put this in the same category as working a standard 40-hour work week, we would be making roughly 46 cents every single hour. So it may not sound like a lot, but over the long term, if you keep adding to the portfolio, reinvesting the dividends, and those companies keep growing their dividends, the returns are going to be exponential. So that's going to be it, guys. That's going to wrap up the video. Let me know down in the comments how much you made this month in dividend income if you are currently investing. I hope that this gave you some insight into an investment portfolio. As you can see, a lot of the companies aren't very interesting. I'm definitely more of a longer term investor who chooses those more boring companies. But for me personally, I think that's the right play. So I'm just going to keep rocking it. If you did enjoy the video, please hit that like button. And if you want more content from me, consider subscribing as well. Thank you all so much for taking the time to check it out. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. So until next time, take it easy.